If you clicked on this thinking it was just another stick and tin couples camper, stay tuned, you're in for a treat. Hey everybody, Josh the RV Nerd here with Bish's RV with my personal favorite little non-bunkhouse Catalina, the 243RBS. It is their smallest of their Legacy Edition series couples models, and it is sneaky good. I'm not going to tell you it's the biggest, flashiest, fanciest thing. In fact, I respect the fact that it's not those things. It's what it does really well in the size that it does it, in the weight that it does it, that I really appreciate. So what I'm getting at here is, like, if you said, okay, what is the smallest I could build a trailer that has a full super slide, potential for excellent travel accessibility, and a private bedroom? This is the answer right here. And what's awesome, like, it's only 5,550 pounds with a private bedroom and a full super slide. That is starting to flirt with the weight of ultralight categories with something that has like a plywood floor that's not going to develop soft spots over time. It's extra tall. It's got a full deep slide. It's not built small. It's just built short. And that's really one of the key things about this one. It's not without a couple little hiccups here and there. I'm going to point those out as we go. But if you're looking for something I think really nicely qualifies for true half-ton towability, obviously you always want to verify the capacities of your own vehicle, and we can certainly assist with that, making sure we put your safety before the sale. This is a really cool option for someone who's like, look, I'm not living in it, but I want something that gives me good space when I get there, but I have limited storage space, and I don't want to tow anything too large or too heavy. I don't want to give up my everyday vehicle. Like a larger class tow package SUV might actually even be able to handle this. It opens up doors that just otherwise don't exist. It's a cool camper, guys. And as I like to say it, as we go through this, we're going to focus on the good, the bad, the ugly, and everything in between. I try to call trailers as I see them. I don't ever claim to be an authority on anything, but I've got a pretty decent idea of some things that I know I like and some things that maybe you like or maybe won't. What I like in here is for 22, they lightened and brightened up the decor. They took a lot of the yellow tint out of the wood tones. And to me, the inside and outside just kind of flow a little bit better now. Something else I like is the fact that this has a taller 6'9" ceiling. Catalina doesn't make any tandem axle trailers with a 6.5-foot sidewall, which one of the big things I'm going to appreciate on this is more headroom in the shower, and I realized I must have failed to close that refrigerator door when I was taking still photos. Another thing here, they do use the smaller 4-inch fart fans. What's interesting is they use one dedicated for the bathroom, then another here for the living room. Now that's not going to push an extreme amount of air, obviously. But it's an easy upgrade since the power is already run and everything. I say this all the time. A Heng's Vortex fan is just, to me, it's just begging to get installed up there. And then you can get some awesome airflow, which is going to help here because like our big panoramic windows are max airflow. Our slide side windows are viewing only. You've got pleated night shades for all of those. And that's what I'm saying. I'm going to give you, you know, what's good, what's maybe not as good, and maybe some things just to chew on. Like, right here, what we're looking at is the standard Jackknife Sofa, although it does have a neat little kind of simulated cinema seat with that folding armrest right there. There is an option for a tri-fold hide-a-bed in this as well, and that's another interesting thing on this camper. If you go with that hide-a-bed, or if you've got littles or big dogs to sleep, the Jackknife Sofa or the hide-a-bed and or the dinette can all fold down into sleepers. So we're going to call it a couples camper, but it's a couples camper that can actually sleep a surprisingly decent number of people. I tell you what, we're going to finish just kind of cruise around the kitchen living room here because, again, this is really the main point of this camper. And this is your view from the sofa, by the way. I like to give you a view from the primary seating spaces. I don't know that this is a camper really designed around the idea of a lot of rainy day entertainment. I don't really think that's this one's best use because when you're sitting over here directly against the slide wall, the TV is most certainly not in a good position. But if you slide to the other side of the sofa and swing the TV out, well, then it's not terrible. So to me, this is a TV is second kind of camper. It's a space in the living room is first kind of camper. Now, everyone has their different needs, wants, desires. Personally, if I had my way, something I think might work on this, and tell me what you think about this. Where that cabinet is located if that was the TV straight across from the sofa, and if this front wall shared with the bedroom was basically just a pure pantry wall, maintaining the optional electric space heating Tootsie toaster down below, I think personally that would be very, very cool. Down below the standard sofa, by the way, you maintain a nice little storage chest, although you pretty much lose that if you do go with the hide-a-bed option, but the hide-a-bed's also a little more comfy to sit on in general. Under the sink space here, if I'm being picky, I kind of wish the shelf under the sink wasn't there for wastebasket space, but I blather on a lot about that. I do really like when I get segmented, sectionalized silverware storage in those drawers. That was some nice alliteration right there. Big farm sink in these with split covers, which I think is cool. And all of the cabinetry in this, by the way, is pocket screwed. So the screws go into wood. There is still some MDF fascia on either side of that wood. And then, of course, it is a sticker wrap. Simple little command panel there. Little appliance plugs and or phone charge station. And in case you're wondering, like, what is this right here? This floor plan has this little elevated little serving bar, breakfast bar, whatever. You can option this with a set of floating stools, which I'm almost a little surprised we didn't on this one. I wonder if there was some kind of shortage or something. I'm not sure. But that's a thing that you can do with this if you are so inclined. That could also make a small little weekend makeshift workstation if you just got to get away from things for a little bit. You might notice that larger 12-volt DC compressor fridge, now standard on these. 6 cubic foot, I think, gas electric two-way fridge still available. Now remember I said, I was talking about different cabinetry things. No matter what, remember back here, you basically have like a refrigerator-sized pantry included on this thing. And all of the countertops in this, whether it's in the kitchen, the bathroom, over here in the dinette, they're all that sealed edge press membrane material. And speaking of pressing, if you look at those giant pillows, and you're my wife, and I snore, you can press them on my face until the oxygen quits going to my brain, I quit snoring, and then I just pass out, and then she can sleep soundly.
Go to sleep, go to sleep, go to sleep, go to sleep, go to sleep!
Though I am advised by the factory that is not their intended purpose. By the way, you do have the option of upgrading to a larger 15,000 BTU air conditioner on these, which for no more money than it is, I think a lot of people would probably prefer. Again, good, bad, ugly, everything in between. This area up here is a little bit bare. I would love to see at least a towel bar there or something, Down below here, plastic toilet, but easily upgraded to a porcelain if that's your preference. Personally, it doesn't bother me. Some surprising good space around this, though. That being said, if you notice, like this is straight angle, like straight mounted at us. When you sit on it, you actually want to sit on an angle to give yourself maximum legroom. I think it's still going to work just fine for folks, but it's just a thing that I kind of noticed on this one. Radius shower, I know not everybody's in love with that concept. I don't know if there's enough space here for a rectangle shower. What I do like, though, lots of headroom in this one. With that taller sidewall, you don't have issues of like being squished down into this thing. Now, there's not a ton of countertop space, I guess, or cabinet space. Not a ton of countertop space in this bathroom, but I don't know. You're enough to get your toothbrush, brush your teeth, etc., whatever. By the way, every one of these lights can all be turned off individually if but I mean, the ceiling switch will also just, there you go, all of them at one time. Obviously, with the exceptions of the ones over there in the slide out. That is a pretty normal thing. Now, I call that a simulated cinema seat. The standard Jackknife Sofa, by the way. Doesn't have to be. If you just want an open bench, like maybe you want to just put a pillow behind you on a rainy day, put your back against that, kind of pretend this is a little bit of a Versa lounge, like a Salem or a Wild. Oh my gosh. Did I just stumble into a thing? If this floor plan had that Salem Wildwood Versa lounge, you'd be able to convert it from dinette to sofa to super sleeper to like anything you wanted. Catalina, please do that. Oh my, Is it just me? Would that not crank this floor plan up to 11? I sure think it'd make a heck of a difference. Wow. Anyway, sorry. I think we've kind of looked at everything, but there are always those little Coachmen touches I really like the little draw shade for the window there. First of all, it's a nice breeze window on the kitchen, which this floor plan needs. That is one of the things this floor plan doesn't do fantastically. Not a lot of windows over here on the door side. But this size camper, like, I feel like you're going to spend time outside at the picnic table when you want to be outside. And when you're stuck inside on a rainy day, you have enough living space with the Super Slide to make it through. The bedroom's interesting. It's not overdone. It is a little bit on the plain side, but I think a lot of people look at this and go, I just need I'm not going to hang out in here. I just need a bedroom where I can sleep. I do like how there's household and USB outlets on both sides of the bed. If you choose to add a TV in here, that's where she would go right there. This is almost a floor plan where one of those like spinner TV entertainment systems would be very cool. I'm going to do this slowly so I don't make anybody who's photosensitive, like I don't want to trip you out or anything. It is cool that because it is a little bit taller, you just have a switch for the lights and you can always reach the lights above the bed right there. This right here though is a Camp Queen. Not everybody's going to love that one now. Sometimes you hear me say, yes, but there's room for a true queen. If you do that, you're really going to stop yourself from walking around it. It's not my favorite arrangement because it doesn't really leave us a lot of options, but this floor plan is really made for that. Like, what is this like? It's like only 28 feet tip to tail or something like that. I don't think they wanted to extend it any more than they could. Now, in road mode, with the slide closed, at a glance, you look at this, you're like, okay, well, the door's by the bedroom. I can get in there real easy. Then you look here in the kitchen, and you're like, yeah, I can walk myself right through there. You don't have to do any weird, like, RV gymnastics and jump over anything. I don't know about you. I am no Simone Biles. I am not very good at parkouring my way across things. Neither here nor there. I know that seems weird too, because like you look at a picture of Simone Biles, you look at a picture of me, you're like, I totally thought that was the same picture, but it's not. I know, it's crazy, right? Anyway, you look at the bathroom though, slide out's in the way, but there is a way. First, this is a rack and pinion slide out. What that means in this case is you're able to open it partially, and that window right there is a great example. You can see halfway outside, halfway inside. You can open this slide partially and get past it. Now, you don't want to actually really occupy and use the slide when it's only part way open. But what if you're like, I don't want to do that. I just want to leave it alone. Can I still get to the bathroom? And the answer is there is still another way. But you do need to be careful doing it. If you fully open the bathroom door before you close the slide, then you can do a little sideways travel trailer two-step back here. Now, you're not going to enjoy any privacy, but if you're making a little road potty stop, chances are you can just deadbolt the door behind you. Keep in mind, though, you see how that door handle, of course, I got a wicked glare on this. I don't know if you're really able to see that very well, but the door handle does stick out past the door, obviously. If that door handle gets caught back here behind the slide flange, the slide out's going to just rip that door handle apart, bust it. It might rip the door off the hinges, I don't know. If you're going to do this, you need to make sure you do something to secure the bathroom door in that position. So maybe that works for you. Maybe it doesn't. The fact is, though, I think that's one of the major concerns somebody could have with this floor plan, but it is something I think that could be potentially managed. And if that doesn't work for you, that's fine. We've got plenty of other RVs that have things like bathroom access in transit. This is just one idea that I came up with here, and if you enjoy the extra looks at these things, like with the slides closed, the extra information, the don't bust your door handle conversation, make sure you hit that subscribe button if you haven't. Like our video, let's step outside. And it's a personal opinion, it's subjective, but man, I think those look good. I think for a stick and tin trailer, Catalina has a standout curb appeal, specifically with the way they've done this extra thick aluminum nose sweep right here. It just gives it such a three-dimensional definition, even when it's just sitting there. I absolutely love the look of those things. Up front, power tongue jack doing the heavy lifting for us. Behind the propane tanks, you might spite that little red, not spite that. You don't want to spite things on your RV if you can help it. Never mind. you might spot that battery disconnect, which is what I was trying to say, which is yet another way to keep your battery healthy when she's in storage. By the way, if you do go with the optional Catalina solar package, it's a little battery tending solar package, not anything major or anything like that, but it does wire straight to the battery. So even when the thing is bypassed, you're still keeping her topped off and maintained. And speaking of maintained, they have maintained a full true pass-through. You see how I did that right there? That was what was called a segue, ladies and gentlemen. Also, let's speak of maintenance. We have metallic fender flares on this, which seems like so big deal. Instead of plastic. The reason I like that is plastic fender flares, they get exposed to the sun, the rain, the wind, the snow, the weather. They get brittle. They get wind buffeted like Jimmy going down the road. That's such a stupid joke. I couldn't even hold my crap together. Anyway, they break down over time. This one will not. Now, the awning has one of those cool multicolor, you can make it strobe and seize out kind of disco lights on it. I really wish they would just get rid of these outside speakers and just go to a portable Bluetooth like the smaller Wildwood and Salem FSXs. I think that they are way ahead of their time for a small budget-friendly stick and tin trailer, but that's just me. The door is anti-slam though, so if, you know, Mother Nature, when she's not being nice and blessing me with warm weather, decides to Miss Piggy karate chop that door wide open with a gust of wind, you're, you know, not likely to hear that thing go kablam against the side of the trailer. Outside TV hookups there. Buy those optional upgraded stable steps. Then back here, we got a 1-2 feature. First one's obvious, drunken Uncle leash latch. Second one, less obvious. We've got a gas grill propane cooker hooker right down there. It doesn't have an outside fridge on this one, so you are going to want to maybe bring a cooler or something like that. But again, you know, they can't pack every single thing into every single trailer every single time. In the back here, we got that 200-pound rated cargo rack like the Cherokees. We like to include that nice little spare tire cover on there for you. I can't imagine why we'd want to blast our name all over the place every time you tow one of these around, but I don't know, just something we thought of. Crazy, I know. The roof, by the way, is fully walkable. The floor is 5/8 tongue and groove plywood. It is not prepped for a ladder though. So there's no optional ladder. There's no aftermarket ladder capacity on these. It's just one of those little things I want to point out to you here. Something else I want to point out though is, you know, that was, I already pointed out my number one thing. This is more of a number two thing, if you will. This has a single sewer outlet on this floor plan, which I think is something a lot of people will appreciate, because a lot of times when you have rear bathrooms, you'll have another water outlet in front of the tires. You don't have that here. And if I can try not to make you motion sick and crawl you under here, you can see that these also standard have an enclosed underbelly. Now, I didn't say it has some magic Four Seasons abominable snowman atmospheric re-entry package, brother. But short of some real hard freezes, you know, for the average Larry lunch bucket and Jane six-pack, you're gonna get along just fine. So I'd like to thank Mother Nature for blessing me with 50 degrees today when it was like 15 yesterday. Thank you, ma'am. Additionally, I'd like to thank you folks for tuning in once again and putting up with me. And if this is your first time with us, make sure you hit that subscribe button. This is just one example of a lot of things that we have across the nation here with Bish's RV. Let me know what you think of this one, good, bad, ugly, or otherwise. Where do you think it soars? Where do you think it falls short? And as always, I appreciate hearing from you too. So take care, stay safe, have fun. Remember to check the link in the video description to see where we have one parked and what we're asking everyone.